You are listening to the Foamy Heads podcast, where we discuss craft beer and anything else that accompanies a glass.
And we're back with St. Bernardus. So St. Bernardus, little quick spiel from me. That St. Bernardus Habit 12 is what got me into beer and then into craft beer more so. Thanks to a coffee house out in Atlanta that's no longer there. But St. Bernardus blew my mind because all I've had was American economy beer, you know, not that great of stuff. So St. Bernardus opened my horizons. So I'm super stoked to have you here today. And Habit 12 is just, it's got a special place in my heart. So at this point, I'm just going to pass the mic into anybody else who wants to talk, because I could take 30 minutes and just talk about it. I'm not going to do that to everybody today.
Well, it's good. So it's a really good atmosphere here today because we've had Amaury and we've had Pierre, and we've been talking for the last hour about good conversation. And then St. Bernardus came into the play. So Marco is here with us today, and it's a bunch of good people sitting around and talking good beer together. Mm-hmm. So this next part of the show, we're going to kind of move over into St. Bernardus. And then, gentlemen, if you don't have anything else to do, please hang around and stay, put some input in, because we want to enjoy some craft beers from Nashville all together at the end.
Oh, cool.
But that's kind of the plan, because we brought all something to share with every single one of you guys today as well. So, Marco, tell us a little bit about yourself first. So, I'm interested in, obviously, the history of St. Bernardus, but kind of give us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Marco Passarella. I'm the international sales manager of the brewery. I live about half an hour away from Poitou, where the brewery is. But I'm actually from the other side of the country. I am from Italian, half Italian origin. And I started working at the brewery about 20 years ago. Well, actually 19 and a half years ago, so almost 20. And I've been doing the same kind of work for about all that time. And I travel to the US about 4 times a year to visit customers, to educate people, to talk about our beers, to explain to people in general about Belgian beer, I guess, also sometimes. And right now that brings me to the beautiful Nashville, Tennessee. So I'm very happy to be here. I've been here a few times before, but it's been a while. I think maybe 4 or 5 years ago, something like that, right?
Mm-hmm. About 6, yes.
6 years ago, okay.
You went to Chattanooga and fell in love.
Chattanooga is beautiful.
Yes. I was going to ask you what your favorite city was so far you've been to in the U.S.
I guess I like the fact that this area is so green. There's so much. We live in I used to live in Limburg. It's a very green province, but right now I live in West Flanders, and if they have three trees together, they call it a forest. So just to make sure they have a forest.
Nice.
So they're
3 trees or more is a forest.
There's a lot of I guess a lot of farming land over there, and very difficult to keep the forests alive. So I miss forest, and that's what I like about this area. So Chattanooga, sorry guys, maybe I'll fall in love in Nashville.
That's okay.
Chattanooga into honky tonk.
Right. Yes.
To Amaury's point, very big differences. So Nashville is very touristy.
Yeah.
Lots of bumper to bumper traffic and accidents, and Chattanooga is kind of more of the big city feel or small city feel, but in a big, it's decent size too.
They still got
bachelorette
trees.
Parties.
Yeah.
A few less
What'd you say?
bachelorette parties.
Few less-
in Chattanooga.
oh gosh.
Nashville's definitely more eventful.
Yeah.
You know, it's definitely a draw and attraction. So we do get a lot of outside influence of people in town, which is great.
Yeah.
Always keeps our bars full, you know, but also our traffic lanes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We got more late hours than Chattanooga right now, so we've got that on them.
Everything closes at 9 in Chattanooga.
Yeah.
9 p.m. at night.
9:30.
Nothing to do. Marco mentioned something interesting right before we turned the mics on. So,
Yeah.
Mitch, he was talking about the Abbott 12, which was kind of your foray into craft beer.
It definitely got me into wanting to try a lot more beer, and here I am today, and we talk about it on the air.
That's
So-
awesome. And you mentioned, so we had we had some Abbott 12 stacked up there
cool.
initially.
Yeah.
And you were just kind of browsing and looking at the
I
bottles.
was looking at your bottles because even though they're empty, I still want to try and see if one of them has Winking Monk on it.
What's the story?
So
with
once every 1,000 bottles, our monk winks at you. Only on the small bottles of App 12. Whenever I see small bottles of App 12, I have to look. So, but it's not. It's one every 1,000.
that?
So
Are any of them winking over there?
no.
Oh man,
Of course.
I'll have
Sorry,
to keep an eye out.
Sorry. You'll have to drink
997 more.
997 more. Yeah. That's okay. It's like one pallet.
It's a good problem to
It's a
have.
good problem to have.
Yeah.
I'm
So
gonna have to
yeah,
keep that
it's
bottle when I find it.
something I started to do about 14 years ago. We didn't have any budgets to do publicity or to do any kind of marketing. So I thought I'd do something that maybe is going to create like a story without it being expensive. You know, we just bought some labels, and when we feed the labels into our feeder, like the labeling machine in the brewery, they come in packs of 1,000. So the guy, the operator at the line, puts in 1,000 labels and then takes one of those special labels and puts it behind it. So that also explains it's not it's like 1 in 1,000, but it's like exactly 1,000 normal ones, and then you have a winking one. Okay.
Very nice.
Although maybe like a year and a half ago, we ran out of labels,
Oh.
regular ones, and they asked me, "Can we please use the Winking
The
Monk
Winking
labels
labels.
because that's all we have." So we had like 14 pallets of
Winking
Winking Monk labels,
Yeah.
and that was like some people were like showing pictures. 4-pack after 4-pack after 4-pack. What
winking
the hell,
labels.
guy? This is all. They're all winking.
They all ended up in Ohio.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And that was still with the old bottling line, or you
Yeah,
changed the
the-
bottling line just right after?
Yeah, and we changed the bottling line, the new bottling line, and we still continue to do that, but only for the App 12.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Although we do put a little bit of a wink on our other boxes. If you want to check out what the Winking Monk looks like on the label, you can check out the new boxes we have. They also have a wink on it on one side.
But the labels themselves on the bottle, it's every 1,000 has a Winking Monk on it.
Yes.
Very nice.
Cool, right?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's good free marketing.
Free marketing.
Yeah.
I call it guerrilla marketing, but I think maybe it has a different name, I guess.
That makes sense.
Marco,
Go ahead.
I spied over the table here. And
Yeah, I'll walk
Mitch-
over.
Mitch, you never got a chance to see it in person why the bar was in existence, but Chattanooga Bar, which was a huge St. Bernardus fan, commissioned to have this local Chattanooga artist, I forget the gentleman's name, to do
That's beautiful.
his version of the monk.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Wow.
The holy man.
Wow. Beautiful.
It's still there.
Who
It's
did
still there.
that?
I have an email. I can send it to you.
Cool.
The artist. The
Yeah,
artist.
we have to go check it out, I guess.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
road trip.
Road trip.
What are you doing after this? Just kidding.
Chattanooga's not far.
this place.
We can get there in like
We
an
get there
hour
and
and
back,
some.
I know,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
easy.
And this is matching perfectly in the St. Bernardus. They do a lot of collabs with celebrities in the art. I think it's like for Magnums, right?
Yes, every year we have an artist whose artwork is depicted on our Magnum bottle of App 12, but we also have two younger artists do our cans. So the Tokyo can and the Wit can is done by an artist impression. So yeah, those are really cool as well. So one is from Jonas de Vacht, and the other one is from Arno Kiss. And Arno Kiss, maybe you guys could know him because he also makes a lot of artwork for American bands who tour. He to make tour posters for them.
Oh, okay.
So
Nice,
it's
very
kind of cool. But big bands, I mean, like Pearl Jam and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's cool.
But Marco, here's a close up of it.
Oh,
Uh,
that's
of that,
beautiful.
the mural.
Yeah.
in
So
Chattanooga.
how do we
So-
incorporate this beautiful picture of our Saint Bernardus in a podcast?
I'll put it on there.
We'll
Oh yeah,
And for all listeners,
it's beautiful painting.
traveling to Chattanooga,
Beautiful.
go down Cherry Street. It's in the back alley
Wow.
of what was behind formerly. Oh, what was Michael's from the Mad Priest
a
bar
really good
called? I'm drawing a blank. But there's only one alleyway behind Cherry Street, and you'll find it tucked in behind one of the venues there. So
Ah, cool, man.
yeah, keep a
Really
lookout
cool.
for it. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
beautiful.
One quick question on the on the magnums themselves. So that's a once a year
Yes.
release, but it's in the larger bottles. How big are those?
Oh, Magnum bottle is 1.5 liter of
1.5
beer.
liters.
So two 750s.
2 750s, and
You
it's a
call them
different-
bombers, right? So it's like a
I think so. Yeah.
double bomber.
bombers. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're
And-
also perfect to age. Like
Yeah.
we said more earlier, I think Magnum especially are very, very good to age.
They age slower than the bigger the bottle. So the bigger the bottle in general, the bigger the bottle, the slower the aging process, and that has to do with the ratio between the amount of beer in the bottle and the amount of air in the neck. So the less air you have in comparison. We also have a Methuselah bottle, the 6 liter one that comes in a wooden
6
casket. So
liter?
that's you need like a few friends at
That's
least.
that one right there.
You need at least 2 friends to drink that one.
And that's what I was just showing Rich
But-
right now. Is I've got this right here because I've got the whole marketing packet in front of me, and the 6 liter, 10% ABV
Ooh.
comes in a beautiful wooden box with the logo right on the front of it. I mean, that looks amazing.
Yeah,
like,
we're actually gonna rebrand those, and I think from starting next year. So you have to know when I started doing those about 15 years ago, nobody in the brewery wanted to put time and work in it. So I ended up buying a corking and gauging machine in Switzerland, and I operated it myself. I did the 240 bottles myself that we intended to do. It was a lot of work for somebody who never works like me. So I'm always on the road, and now I had to do manual work.
Yeah.
But without short of meeting you, that's the only way to get your autograph.
So I asked the head brewer, can you please sign my bottles? And he said, I don't have time for that. And I said to the owner, Hans, I said, can you sign the bottles? Jesus, man, it's your project. Just sign the bottles and be over with it.
Yeah.
So
you signed the bottles.
I signed all those bottles, 240 of them, and I was like, okay, that's a lot of work. But you know what? 15 years later, I'm still signing them.
Nice.
And we're up to 9,500. So I've signed a lot of labels.
You didn't know what you were signing up for.
Fortunately, at a certain point, they realized that these bottles were getting quite expensive with my time being tied up to it, and they decided to give it to somebody else. So I'm not doing them myself anymore, but I did come up with the design, and I used to also do all the marketing of the brewery. So that was always fun. Nowadays, Peter, my colleague in the brewery, Peter Verdonk, he's a really cool guy who does all the marketing for us, so I can focus a little bit more on the sales side. So he came up, for example, with the artists for the cans and all the new stuff. So a lot of fun.
He's very talented.
Yeah, he's very
talented and
he's
very
very good of him to push through and to hire an artist to make that artwork.
As Gary says, as he's pulling out multiple cans out of his bag.
Oh, the Tokyo. He's got the Tokyo with
I
him.
was going to ask about that. Yeah, I was going to ask you to just touch on the Tokyo a little bit.
Yeah, please.
The Tokyo, we made that for the first time in 2012 for the opening of our pub in Tokyo. It came in 750 bottles and kegs. We released it one time for the opening of the pub. The pub is near Kanda Station. It's called Brasserie Saint Bernardus, and you should go and check it out because it's really, really cool. It's a really cool place to go to, and we're very happy with it. So when the Summer Olympics were coming up in 2020, we decided that we were going to bring that beer back, but this time not in a large bottle, but in a can.
Yeah.
So we started looking for a way to do that, and then we found the artwork, and then when everything was ready, I decided to change the name from Saint Bernardus Tokyo 2020 to Saint Bernardus Tokyo.
Nice.
And I'm very glad I did that because actually, the Summer Olympics didn't go through. They were postponed for a year. We ended up selling a lot of the cans in 2020 all over the world. We also sold them in 21, and now it's 23, and we're still going strong with them. So I'm kind of glad I didn't put the 2020 the year on it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yes. Well, it worked well as a summer seasonal for us, given when the Olympics were happening. After 2 consecutive years of positive feedback and growth, we were able to now have it as a year-round available product. Cool fact with the label there, though, is that when you get this Tokyo can in front of you, it is an illustrative interpretation of the alleyway in which the bar resides in. So when you're looking at that, you're looking at the tap room from the outside.
Yes.
Very cool.
So it's an alleyway bar, and anyone who goes to Japan will soon find out that all the alleyway bars are the cool bars.
Right.
And it looks like, I went there, honestly, it looks like. And what's interesting in the can also is that you can find 2 very important labels, I think, for us. Is like, it's used with Belgian hops. Where they are situated is like in the hop country of Belgium. And it's also Belgian family brewers. So it means that this beer is from a Belgian family company from more than 50 years history, plus that this beer is only made and only brewed in Belgium. What's important when you compare to the larger breweries, we say Belgium, but in fact it's made in China. And the last very interesting point of this BFB label is that every time that you can find this label on a can or on a bottle or anywhere, it means quality, tradition, and also balance. And you will find that back also in this beer, I think.
So the beer itself is brewed with. It's a little bit different than the first time, actually. So it's not the same kind of beer than what we did for the 750s back when it opened. It has coriander and orange peel.
Exactly what I picked up.
But it also has a third herb, and if you compare this beer to the wit, which is brewed with only coriander and orange peel, you should be able to find the differences. So maybe that's something nice to do. So we can pair them next to each other with. We have some wit cans here.
Yep, that's why
and
I
then
brought
maybe
this
I can ask you guys, what do you think is the third ingredient? I have to tell you. I can tell you. But I can also not give you.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Don't tell us.
No,
Don't
I
tell
could
us
tell
yet.
you what I was going to say. I can give you a tip, but I can also not give you the tip.
Yeah, don't give them a tip. They've been very impressive in figuring out all the riddles thus far.
Oh, that's high.
Are you guys in the food industry anyway? Do you know anything about food? Because the ingredient. I was going to give a tip.
Hey, Marco,
Don't do it.
No tips.
Marco, to save you from spilling the beans so quickly, can you please talk about the hops real quick?
Ooh.
Okay. So we have our own hop field next to the brewery. I don't think I mentioned we used to be a cheese factory before. I'll come to that later maybe. And the cheese factory is not a bed. Now is a bed and breakfast, a guest house. We have 10 rooms. Really great. Beer's complimentary. So if you drink enough, you can stay for free.
Challenge accepted.
And then we put in a new bottling line, and because we put in a new bottling line, we had to build. We put it in at the place of the old warehouse, so the warehouse had to move. We put the new warehouse first, put an underground parking garage under it, We built a warehouse in two-story high. Well, not two-story high. It's really high, but 2 floors. And on the rooftop, we have a bar. And the bar overviews the whole area and also our hop fields. We grow our own hops next to the brewery with the help of a hop farmer who lives nearby. And we grow both Hallertau Magnum and Kent Golding. So, yeah, that's...
And what's crazy is in their warehouse they have like a pallet elevator. It was the first time that I saw that.
Yeah, so the pallet elevator, Amaury, was really cool when we did it in 2018. So you just put pallets on and it automatically puts them on the next floor. So you can put up to 7 pallets on it and it just keeps moving. Wow. Then only somebody needs to take it off the elevator to put it away. But in the new bottling line, above it, we also have 2 stories, 2 new floors.
Oh, wow.
And that's even more impressive to me because it has a forklift elevator. You open the gate, you open the elevator, and you drive in with your forklift and your pallet of beer, and then it closes behind you, and it goes to the second or the third floor. You drive out. You drive out, and then you can put the pallet away. So yeah, it's more
Even better.
You have to come and check it out. It's it's really impressive.
But that's once again what Smyrna is this, like tradition, quality, authenticity, and then with the best tools ever. So that's how you make good beer.
Yeah, they've always been reinvesting in themselves, for the past 20 some years.
Yes.
It really shows, in the span of the liquid and how fast it travels. But one romantic note I like to note about the hop farm is the gentleman who comes out of retirement once a year.
Oh, to help?
Yes,
to come and help?
Yeah.
But there's not just him. There's a lot. So you have to know we are in the heart of the hop region. It's a very small hop region worldwide, but for us it's really important. So the whole year, the farmer will take care of the field, but when the hop harvest is going on, he needs a lot of extra help. And there is almost no extra help because everybody has a job. So a lot of people come out of retirement to help him for a few days, and they get paid. And they have a party afterwards. So it's like call it hop a feast and hop party.
Yes, I was fortunate to be there during the hop harvest, and they had this gentleman who was easily 77 years old up on this handmade ladder,
Just working
on
away,
a tractor by himself with a stick, and just cutting the lines. I was just like, what is going on here? And then that's what Marcus said. People come out of retirement just to help out because it's part of their culture.
Wow.
They've been doing it for so long and they miss it and they like being involved. So.
I guess it's also because they get a beer afterwards.
Yeah, they probably get a couple. It's
No
a
good
shame.
beer, a good beer.
Good beer.
It brings people together.
Yeah.
That can be.
So
a
you
good
guys
team
trying to
building.
wit? Are
Yeah.
you trying to wit?
I'm trying to understand the difference between. There's a difference in taste between the wit and the Tokyo, but you mentioned that third ingredient,
Yes.
and I'm having a hard time placing my finger on it.
Yes,
I
very difficult.
don't know what it
It's
is.
very, very difficult.
I taste loads of coriander in the Tokyo, and I pick up on some of it too in the wit. So I'm assuming it's there also.
Yeah, there's more coriander in the Tokyo than in the
Okay.
wit. But okay, so
That's just me.
there's
Though. I don't know if anybody else has a guess, but
it's the name is Tokyo, so we added a Asian herb to it.
Asian herb
Asian herb has been added to the
Tokyo.
it's Asian, but actually maybe Pierre knows it better than anybody else.
Kimchi.
No, it's not kimchi. It's used in the French kitchen,
Using
in French cuisine.
It's not shiso, right?
No. That's
Very good sauce.
yes. Have you tried?
Yeah, I've tried.
Yeah, it's a very good sauce, the best sauce.
The Bernaise.
Yes.
Yes. How do you say it in English? I don't know the word in English.
The name in
Venkel. No, it's
no,
not
no,
Venkel.
it's not Venkel.
Tim.
I don't remember.
No.
In French.
I don't remember in French. I don't remember the word in French.
In French, it's dragon.
Dragon, estragon.
Okay.
Estragon.
Estragon. Okay, wow.
And in English, it's tarragon.
Oh, Tarragon.
Yeah,
Very difficult to find.
Yeah.
And nobody knows it's Asian either. In Europe, nobody knows it's Asian. So my tip that I tell people, there's an Asian ingredient in there, is very offsetting because it's mostly used for béarnaise sauce.
Yeah, that's a very nice misdirect. Just
that's
gets you
good.
thinking.
Yeah.
So what's the flavor profile on that then? Because I don't know what that tastes like.
Béarnaise sauce?
Yes, actually.
Ooh, you should-
The
Or
herb
just even-
itself is like it's family of sage.
Sage.
Yeah, and it's also family of lemongrass.
Okay.
So you have
Sage
to
and
think in that way.
Lemongrass.
And then it gives a lot of special flavor to the beer.
Freshness of
Yeah.
when we speak about béarnaise, and there is a nice smell here of meat, so it's it's very difficult right now for me.
Yeah, Amaury, you're getting hungry, huh?
It's no time. Huh?
And the sun is up now.
Well, I believe we'll probably have to start breaking out some beers from our area here.
Yeah, we could do
What's
that.
Oh,
Whoa,
You guys-
not yet. Oh,
Not without
we've got the
this hidden
75 year.
Yet I
You guys,
forget.
I do want to get in a quick. I really want to tell you something.
Sure. Go ahead.
May I? Because I know you had the up 12 before, right?
Yes.
But to understand where those beers come from, you really have to know the history of the brewery.
Please.
So our brewery was founded in 1946 with just one purpose: to brew and commercialize the beers of the Trappist monks of West Flateren. West Flateren is that one abbey Trappist brewery that makes beer that nobody can get and nobody is able to buy it. It costs $100 for a bottle, and you have to drive up to the brewery, give up your license plate, call them in advance, and then you can
Wow.
go and buy it. But that is now. In 1946, they decided they did not want to brew their own beer and brew and commercialize their own beer anymore, and they were looking for somebody to do it for them. And they talked to two brothers who had a cheese factory in the area, a cheese factory that those two brothers bought from another Trappist monastery 7 miles the other way into France called Mont des Cots. Mont des Cots made cheese. They had a fight with the government in France, and they came across the border, and they made cheese with us. And when the Trappist brewers, when the Trappists went back to France, they sold the cheese factory to the two brothers, and they made it really big, and they sold a lot of cheese, made a lot of money, and so these guys were able to say yes to the abbot of West Flateren when he asked him, could you please make our beer? So the brewmaster of West Flateren, who was a private person from Polish origin called Mathieu Zafranski, he came over to the brewery, became a partner with the two brothers, and brought along all the recipes, brought along all the know-how, and most importantly, he brought along the yeast strain from St. Sixtus that we still use today. So for many years, we brewed for them under license up until 1992, when our license came to an end. But we decided to keep on brewing the same beer, but with the same recipe and the same yeast strain, but a different brand name, namely Saint Bernardus. Saint Bernardus, which was always the name of the brewery, because it was also the name of the cheese factory.
What was the reason for leaving France in the first place? Was it taxation by the French government?
The taxation of the profits by the government in France, and they only returned when they turned that decision.
Yep.
So many people want to know: does that mean that the beers of West Flateren and Saint Bernardus are the same? Well, actually, no, they are not. They've never ever been the same. We always brewed with different water. We had the same ingredients and the same yeast strain for many years. But in 1992, when the monks started brewing for themselves again, they decided not to do that with their own yeast anymore. They used the yeast of another Trappist monastery, which I'm not allowed to tell you the name of.
Okay.
And we won't ask you to say it.
Yeah, this was the conversation
Quick
before
Google
the mic
search
started.
can,
Yeah.
can,
Yeah.
can reveal all. But
You know what I just saw is the cork It's
Yeah.
from Bouchon Leclerc, I guess.
Yeah, personalized.
And no, and it's a diam cork, and I think that's something that not a lot of people know, but these corks are super famous. It's like the Rolls Royce of the
Yeah.
corks because it allows the beer to breathe in a certain way, and that's the best way ever to preserve.
Diam is the best. So Diam is written D-Y-A-M. Diam. It's considered to be the best cork in Europe. So
why are you
we use
moving
it.
it closer to you? Because we about to fight over it.
Well, I was hoping that maybe somebody could open it for
It's,
me, but I don't. Maybe I should just do it.
I think
don't
we
know if
should
I
pop
want
it
to.
on the mic.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So this is our anniversary
Yeah,
beer
Yeah.
from. Yeah, go ahead.
Those acoustics
That's
were
not
That's
lovely.
maybe
Yeah.
the best 3 seconds of the show. Because you can talk a lot about beer and actually sometimes a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Beer is there to be drank.
Enjoy it,
So I hope everybody who listens to this podcast is doing that while either having a beer in their hand or planning to have one soon. Because you might be listening to this in your car, so don't drink and drive, okay?
Correct.
I will also like to mention that this beer in the U.S. is extremely rare. If you happen to see one or know someone who has one, try to share some or get some.
So this is the 75th anniversary beer. Also a nice story to it. We came up with a new beer, 8.2% strong blonde. Because there's a lot of strong blonde in Belgium, and we thought we'd also give it a shot, but maybe a one-off instead of putting it as your locomotive in front of the brewery, like so many others do. I'm thinking about Duvel and Cornet and a lot of beers that have this style. Or Omer maybe is well known in Belgium. Not coming to America.
Usually they have a
unfortunately.
lot of animals on the label also.
Yes, animals on the label and stuff like that. So, but we decided to do a test first. We tested a batch and it came out perfectly. We did 13,000 bottles on that test batch, and we decided, okay, let's go. Let's brew the 75,000 bottles that we wanted to sell for the 75th anniversary. And then COVID happened. And that was really bad for this beer because we were up in sales. And we instead of doing kegs, we had to do bottles. So the bottling line was jammed up all the time. And we couldn't brew that beer again because we couldn't put it in the bottle. Really and then we decided, okay, then let's keep it with the 13,000, and that means, for example, for the US, that we shipped 2 pallets.
2 pallets?
That's
Wow.
144 cases.
There are 2 pallets of this beer in the entire United States.
144 cases. That's 6 packs. All right, so that's not a lot.
The
And
smell of this beer is
what?
crazy.
And it's the first time I'm having it. This is my personal collection.
Wow.
Marco sent me as a gift.
Thank
and
you.
I'm sharing it with you all because
This is
he's here
great.
to enjoy it with us, and I've kind of been wanting to try
There's
it.
I
like
think
a
it-
little bit banana smell. on
Proper
it.
toast, gentlemen. Appreciate
Banana
it.
smell.
Absolutely.
Yeah, a
Cheers.
little bit of banana.
Cheers.
Sanchez.
Cheers, guys.
Salute.
Cheers.
Man, this looks great too.
So yeah, 8.2%. You can see by the color it's a little bit darker than our regular triple. Well, regular triple because it's also a blonde and a high ABV, but not this high. Yeah, and we put I think we put 8.2 on the label, but I think it came out 8.7 or something. So
But it's fine. You are in the 0.5 difference.
yeah, that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
And we didn't sell it. D&V didn't sell it. You didn't sell
What
it,
do you mean?
right?
Didn't sell what?
I think you gave it all away.
Oh,
Yeah, because obviously
so
they
few.
have to.
Yeah,
They have
There was so little.
Yeah.
that might have been. That might have been it. That's for you. And
There was
Daniel.
like a guy, a distributor, asking us, "Hey, I have like a few cases of this beer left over. Do you want to take it back?" And we're like, "Yes."
Wow.
He didn't get the memo or he didn't
Oh, my
read about it.
goodness.
So
This beer is
now we have
fantastic.
This is phenomenal.
two more crates left over in the brewery.
And
That's
you know
it.
what? You know what's the word again of this beer? Balance.
Balance.
Yes, of course. Yeah, everything has been very well balanced.
That's the key of Belgium.
Here's the problem I have. It's not a problem. It's a good thing to have. But every single one of these beers do not taste anywhere close to the alcohol, the ABV content that it boasts.
Right.
Every
We like
single
to
one
make
of them
jokes.
are extremely balanced.
Yes,
right?
but
It's-
also very, very far, very deep, bottle conditioned.
Yes.
So the fermentation, primary fermentation, went already very deep. So there's no residual sugars, and then we do bottle conditioning, and it eats up all the rest of the sugar. So then when you try the beer, you have no alcohol smell. It doesn't smell like alcohol, although you're drinking NAP 12, for example, 10%.
Right. That's what we started.
and,
the
and,
show.
and also
Habit 12
the
is
absence
10%.
absence of that of the residual sugars makes that the beer is a little bit dry in the finish, and you think it deceits you. It makes you think it's like a very light beer, but it's not. Wait until you go outside and the man with the hammer is waiting to hit you in the head.
It's also with the hectoliter plateau or plateau hectoliter are higher usually. For example, this one the body is very very strong, so I guess the plateau degree is quite up. That's also one of the main difference between us Belgians. Even for our Duchess, for example, the plateau degree is already up. Yeah.
Yeah, that was lovely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's very nice.
I'm glad we drank it.
Do we?
This is
start
an
to
awesome share.
Crack open
Yeah.
some locals and some.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Let's
do that.
Well, you
I'll
said
just let's have a rinse break real quick. Just stretch our legs and then
Yep.
get into it.
very cool.
Crack open some beers and we'll be right back.
Hey guys, welcome back. So we're gonna get into the American beers now. We've drank a whole bunch of their stuff from Valdez, Saint Bernardus. We've got all of the wonderful Duchess, everything. You know, we've ran that gamut. Well, let me back up on that. There's a whole lot more to drink from theirs.
Oh my gosh.
But
too much.
we're gonna go ahead and move into some local stuff since they are here in Nashville. We're gonna go ahead and hit some of those up next.
Bring out some of the good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Now
So-
it's time to say cuckoo to American beers.
Yeah. We're going to start off with a local one. This is actually over here in East Nashville. This is Living Waters. Living Waters Brewery. They actually have a coffee shop also. So you go in the morning, they're serving coffee, and they also have beer. So it's a pretty cool little spot.
This is like Reinhard de Vos, the fox. It's
The
like
fox.
a very famous figure in Belgium.
Yeah,
So
that's
Very,
true.
very
That's
famous.
true.
There's
There we
not
go.
too many places in the states you can get, at least in the southern east part of the United States, where you can get a beer at 9 o'clock in the morning if you want to.
right. Exactly. And that's a wonderful thing.
Yes.
So
Bit
this
like in
one's-
Belgium.
Yeah?
Yes. This is classified as a French style Pilsner, coming in at 4.8%.
Hence the fox, because the French coined the term.
How many centiliter is it in this can? Because I think we don't have. First of all, we don't have the same mentions.
500 mil.
1 pint.
16
Six
ounces.
Exactly 1
ounces.
pint,
Okay.
16 fluid ounces. Yeah, let's try this one. There you go.
The design is very minimalistic.
One color on the label. I think it's with wraps.
Oh yeah, this
Yep,
is the
that's
wrap.
correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. And the wraps are nice. They're kind of cool as far as labeling goes.
Yeah, we
and
do
the artwork is
our
amazing.
Christmas sale cans come in wraps.
And wraps.
So yeah.
So this one is with corns, right?
I believe so. Yes. So
It
Ryan,
smell like.
yeah, Ryan is in Nashville. Ryan at Living Waters is one of those guys that knows exactly what he's doing. We have a lot of guys that are very experimental, but then we have a lot of guys that are dialed into their craft and what they like to do.
Yep.
Ryan is one of those
Yeah,
guys.
Ryan McKay is on it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Owner of Living Waters. Started out as a coffee shop and then realized they wanted to get into beer too. So, or maybe they started out as beer.
I think it
don't
was
know.
they wanted both sides.
They wanted both sides
Yeah.
at the same time. Okay, gotcha.
But you can pull up there in the morning, bust out your laptop, do your whatever work you have to do from home. If you're working from home at a coffee shop, but they also serve beer.
And then Marco, this place is really dangerous for folks like you and I because you go there to have a nice coffee or beer, but you end up next door spending too much money at a record shop.
Oh, it has in the record shop next
Yeah,
to
it's
it?
arguably
Right next
the
door.
best
So can we
record
go
shop in
tomorrow
town.
morning?
Grimies?
Yeah, it's
Grimies.
Grimies.
Grimies is
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh,
Really
we'll
cool
do
shop.
that.
Yes.
My daughter is going crazy over the fact that I'm in Nashville, and so is Taylor Swift. 17-year-old daughter going
millions of
crazy,
other girls,
going
too.
crazy, going
She's
crazy.
also a very good artist, right? She's singing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, my
It was.
daughter, you
It
mean?
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, she's
No,
good.
not Taylor
She's
Swift,
good.
your daughter.
Yeah, she's good.
It was flooding last night in Nashville. It was flooding. Like Interstate 40
Yeah.
was, I-40 was underwater for a little while. She was performing, so
Yeah.
she
Yep.
was rain was coming down,
Midnight
kept
Rain,
going.
I think a song is called by her.
Very
The
nice.
show
Yes.
went down to 1:30 in the morning.
Jeez. Shake it off, people. Shake it off.
Okay, sorry.
All right, so let's
I
talk
think we
about the
found a
beer.
hidden group of Swifties over here.
Oh no.
Marco.
No hate.
I like her music. Sorry, okay. I know it's. I like all kinds of music, and the songs are actually not.
They're catchy.
They're catchy
very
and they're
catchy, yeah.
I like some of the lyrics too. So it's cool.
Yeah.
All right, so thoughts
So-
on this one?
So very crisp and clean,
Very light.
very light. 4.8% I see on the can. It says go beyond usual, but if this would be usual, it would be very good for me.
Very refreshing.
They said it all. I can drink 2 or 3 of this one, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
good. Balanced also.
So it brings me to my definition of a good beer and an excellent beer. When you're sitting at the bar and you go to the bartender, hey man, this was really good, but that you just recommend the beer you recommended to me. What else have you got? Or you sit at the bar and you say, hey man, this was excellent. Can I have another one?
That's the difference between a good beer and an
yeah,
excellent
yeah,
beer. Huh?
that's the difference.
So looking for something that's complementary and goes nicely with something along
just
similar
what-
lines.
If there's a beer and you don't want to check out the menu because to see what else do they have, then that's perfect. I think that's good for a bar owner as well when there's good rotation on the draft lines. So yeah,
So the level is very high for the first one. Now let's see the next ones.
Oh,
yeah.
Pressure is
so
on.
since-
Pressure is on.
you sticking with Living Waters?
I think so for the next only because
Okay.
he said, "What else do you have like it?"
Yeah.
So I think we do one more Living Waters
One
here
more
real
Living
quick.
Waters.
Oh,
So this is going to be a Helles style lager, also coming in at 4.8%.
all right.
What's this one called?
Hazel.
This is the Hazel, and this has got a giant squirrel on the front of the can.
I don't know if
So-
you know that, but squirrels, what do they eat here?
Nuts.
Nuts, but which nuts?
Acorns?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's the Flemish word for acorn. Hazel.
How are we
Living
getting
Waters,
schooled on
man.
American beers?
See, this is what Ryan. It's all.
He
Inception,
knows
man.
exactly what he's doing. He's just not telling us.
Yeah.
Look at us learning new things.
Yeah.
All the things.
All the small
things.
things.
So
What a cool like Easter egg that they did over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
That's
We'll
great.
have to get Google Lens and check out all their labels now.
So Living Waters also has a thing called Mythos Club, which is a bunch of coffee stouts and barrel-aged coffee stouts. And I'm curious how much of that's on the nose as well with their labels and names and everything with their styles of beers and adjuncts and
Yeah.
whatever else they put in there.
On the nose is a ton of flavor, huh?
I like Helles lagers.
Yeah, they're
gonna be
just
good.
so clean and very easily drinkable.
So, am I the only one thinking that it's very similar to the previous one?
Yeah.
It is very similar. Yes, it is.
I think the nose is different, but it's similar. But for me, my vote is going to the first one.
I would agree.
If I had to pick one, the first
I
one,
would
the
prefer
Fox.
also the first one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of digging this one.
So, are there any bar owners listening to your podcast?
I'm sure there are.
Okay, in that case, I have a message for them.
Oh, yeah.
Try and balance. We always say that Belgian beer is very well balanced, and I think it's very important. But I also think there needs to be balance in the menu that you serve your customers, and these beers would bring very good balance to have like a light and crisp beer instead of drinking. If you have 30 draft lines, you don't need 29 IPAs.
Nope.
True.
I agree.
If you have 10 IPAs, people will more than happy. And if you rotate through them, those IPA nutheads, they will come in anyway.
Yep.
Yes.
I agree 100%. And actually, the bar that
They
I
will.
run, my bar that I run, you've got your light lagers, then we've got our wheats. Like it's broken up and into sections. I only run 6 IPAs at one time.
Oh, that's perfect.
I've got 4 or 5 porters and stouts. I've got ambers, browns, reds. So I break up my board so that you've got a wide variety of everything, and that's exactly what we want.
You know, this
Abbott 4s are on right now. I got
This is
4
why I
on right
like
now.
America.
I
It's-
know. I see the 12 that you're showing me.
Okay.
I got
I
4
thought
on
you were
right
going
now.
to stop at porter and stout.
Oh, no,
I didn't hear you say triple and double and Belgians and quads and. Okay, I thought you were helping me, but you were helping
No, I
me.
got you.
Got
you.
You know what's fantastic in America is that you just say, "Oh, I have only 6 IPA." In 99% of the pubs in Belgium, there is
One
no
IPA?
more than six tap.
Right,
taps total?
exactly. And
That's like the
yeah.
biggest one, and that's already called like a beer bar when you have 6 taps in
Yeah,
Belgium.
no. The most bars they have like 2 or 3.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've got
2
30
is
Restaurants
average.
have 0.
I've got 32. And
Restaurants have
yeah.
0. Normally, restaurant they don't
they
have.
don't have
No,
any.
no, 0 to 3. No more
Oh.
than 3.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm letting you open that one
I am
with the wax
not
top.
good at this.
There, give it to me.
All right, Mitch. Mitch brought it. He's gonna have to bring it. He's gonna have to open it.
All right,
Wax on the cork.
Yeah, so this is an interesting way of bottling things because it allows you to not have to use a cork but still preserve the quality of the beer at the same time. So Mitch will know more about the Embrace the Funk, but this is out of Yazoo Brewing in Nashville, Tennessee, and they have, I don't want to say 2 divisions, but that's kind of what it is. Like they've
It's-
got their Yazoo beers, and then they have their Embrace the Funk, which is more of like their funk sour beers. And they're 2 different programs altogether. They even have their own Embrace the Funk like event every year.
Right, and Brandon Jones, he's a freaking
Mastermind.
genius, and he has traveled the world, and he has been to all of the other countries to figure out exactly how to do his style beer. So Embrace the Funk, I gotta say, one of my favorite sour manufacturers, the people putting out sours, up there with my top favorites right now in Nashville because he is just doing such a good job.
But he travels.
He travels, he
and
learns,
he goes to
and he
the
knows
birthplace of these styles.
Exactly.
And he meets with the minds.
It's
you
not
know?
me doing it in my garage. Like
Right,
this
and
dude is
figuring it out.
traveling and actually learning from the masters.
He puts in the time. He invests. He brings the knowledge home. He brings it back, and he replicates it with his style.
yeah.
Yeah, and sours is very, very difficult to make. 1 month ago, no, 2 months ago, no, we had some home brewer from Korea who came, and he came to the brewery with his own reinterpretation of the Duchesse. So we sit down and I tried to open it. It exploded in the whole office.
Oh,
Oh no.
It was at 2 centimeters of my head, and all this beer just
All over.
exploding all over. Yeah, I had
So-
some trouble with the cleaning guys after, but basis was good.
we had one of Brandon's beers explode on our mixer one time. That was the second time it got graced by beer. But this is a open fermented forest ale brewed with porcini mushrooms and oyster mushrooms, buckwheat pills, malt, and fuggle hops. So it's a 5.7 ABV. It's a wild one. Fermented, uncovered last fall in the wooded area outside of the barrel cellar with Saison, Brettanomyces, and local yeast cultures from fodder number 1. Mushrooms were added during the mash, boil, and at the end of fermentation. Impressions are earthy, woodsy, musty, salinity, and black peppercorn.
It's quite good.
We say it very quietly. Maybe somebody heard, but it's not bad.
No. Amaury
really
keeps
not
making
bad.
faces. I want to know what he has to
It
say
has
about
to,
that.
Interesting.
It had to
It's
grow on me in the
Yeah.
beginning because I don't know if you noticed, but it had a lot of foam when it started, and the foam is gone now.
Yep.
which is awkward for us Belgians. We like lacing.
Yep.
Yeah, we like
Yes.
the beer to keep the foam all the time.
But I said if this sits another year or two,
Yeah, I think.
I mean,
maybe
this is especially going to be something special.
Yeah,
I
you
think
know,
it's
in the-
already
don't take
very
it-
good.
Don't take it out of context.
In
when
the
you say
sour,
it's
it's very difficult to make a foam. That's one of the most difficult thing to have is foam. For the Duchesse, it was a long process to have a very consistent good foam. Anyway, I think the result is there is like a hybridation between US sour and maybe Goose, I think.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. No, I completely agree. Because I've got people that come in looking for an American sour and then a goose and then also gozas, which obviously are different as well. So finding the
it's
right
like a
thing for the right
hybrid
person.
one.
Yes, exactly.
I think it has a certain earthiness to it as well. That reminds me a little bit of the what you guys call farmhouse ales. We call it saison. Yeah, our smaller brewery in Ypres has a saison, and yeah, there's like some notes in there that I can recognize. Yeah,
And actually, if I'm correct, the son of one of the biggest master of Flanders Red is working at the.
yeah. The son of Verhaeghe from Brodenbach is
Who's
is
like a
part of
absolute
that brewery.
legend.
So yeah, it's a lot of
That's the
Rodenbach is
Kazan
like
Saison that you
Yeah.
really like.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Kazan Saison.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have to say the adjuncts to the beer, what like you explain it, it's atypical for Belgium. We do not add mushrooms in
Yeah, I'm
beer.
trying to figure out how they added mushroom on that.
So I think it's dry, like what we would do for like what Orval does for dry hopping. Put it in a big tea bag and then you hang it in the
Dry hopping.
something like that, like
Yeah.
dry hopping, but not with hops, but with other things. I heard people were using lollipops to add to the.
Yeah, I believe
like-
it. I believe it.
You're not gonna come up with a milkshake breakfast
Man.
lollipop.
Yeah.
We've
Peanut
got
butter, hazy,
Yeah.
hoppy IPA.
yeah, we've got a lot of people who are very they admire their childhood cereals in their beers. So there's a lot of that here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
a lot of
is.
stout.
Well, you could also just buy a regular beer and some breakfast cereals.
pour the beer
just
in the
pour
cereal.
them
Sounds like a
in
good
the cereal
breakfast to me.
and let it sit
Exactly.
for a moment.
Yes.
I
And then
personally
drink that.
don't drink those. The only thing I've done adjunct-wise has been I've made a chocolate cherry stout, which came out amazing.
What is that noise?
They're chopping ice or something.
Chopping.
over
Oh,
there,
okay.
yeah.
Gotcha.
So yeah, we're
Alright.
preparing for a CBC festival
So-
event here. So just so your listeners know, we're
I
not
think they are knocking, you know, they are like, knock, knock, knock. We
Let
want
us
beer,
in.
please.
Please bring us beer.
Because we are on the cool table here.
That's
Yes.
right.
yeah.
But
Okay.
no, we do those things where I did a chocolate cherry stout and I soaked my cocoa nibs in vodka overnight and those kind of fun things.
But why didn't
But-
you just drink the vodka?
Well, I did afterwards.
Oh,
But my point being, like, you get a lot of these like lactose heavy IPAs and stuff, and that's not my style. I consider myself more of a traditionalist. Now everyone's tiptoeing past us to make sure they don't make too much noise, and I love that. But no, we tend to add a lot of other things, and some people absolutely love them. Where others, and I consider myself a traditionalist in the fact that I don't want all of those other things added. What do you guys think about that?
I have a quick small question about lactose thing. In Europe, more and more people, and it's a fact, in any coffee shop today in Belgium, if you order a cafe latte, 90% of people will ask with soy milk or oat milk. The fact that there is lactose in this beer, is it like more and more people are like, ooh, not for me? Because, for example, me, lactose is not good for me. So I'm getting away of that. But is it also something that you see in America? Because honestly, in Belgium, it's quite recent. It's like since the 5 last year, the people with the lactose, we more and more people are trying to avoid that.
In general. Can I talk to that for a second? So I feel like there's two groups of people that I've noticed when it comes to lactose beers. There's ones that stay away because they can't have it, and then there's ones that gravitate it towards it, not because they love it, but because it's something different. So lactose beers in general, like we're very upfront in the States about, hey, this beer, because there's a lot of lactose intolerance people, and then there's also people that are trying to stay away from it just because it's good health. But then those same people that can have it but maybe stray away from it are gravitated towards something like that because it's a beer that they haven't had before. It's a style that they haven't had before, or it's something that, I don't drink lactose that often, but if I'm going to try it in like an IPA, then it's something I want to try.
Yeah.
In a previous life, I was dating a Swiss girl, and fun fact to know, but these guys are eating cheese all the time. And if you're lactose intolerant in Switzerland, good luck.
Yeah.
So they invented a pill that it's like a small powder that you just take, and it's not lactose, it's like lactase. You take that, no problem anymore.
Really?
The Swiss people, they had the answer. If the Swiss people cannot sell cheese anymore, what can they do?
Yeah. Very true.
Good point.
But sorry, I'm not a brewer, so I don't know everything. But what can you guys explain to me, maybe, like in a few sentences, since we are talking about lactose? What the hell is a kettle sour?
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
good
kettle.
question.
Go ahead.
I mean, I'm not a brewer or anything, but I know there's a whole separate process for kettle sours. I wish one of us was a brewer to really bring that mindset to
Can
the
explain
table.
you if you want.
Oh, go for it. Yes.
So kettle sour is so you have two types of sour: the sour who age in the wood, and the sour who are being in a kind of tube with small wood pellets. Pellet?
Yeah,
Pellets.
pallets. Yeah.
Pellets.
Why do you think it's with wood pallets? I heard they just take the lactose and they put it in the brew kettle.
I heard that it was like
Generally,
putting in a tube with wood pellets, and then after they put the lactose on it, and that it made kettle sour. This is like an evolution of like a cornet beer. That's what they told me.
So kettle sours are just a quick souring compared to the other.
And with acid lactic also, right?
Traditional wooden barrel, lactic acid bacteria, lactobacillus. Let's see here. I'm having to just look it up. here.
basically, it's
We
a
are
quicker
googling
process.
it. We are googling it.
Yeah, I
It's
am.
a much quicker process as opposed to taking the time to actually get the fermentation down exactly correct and to take the time, or if you're doing some open fermentation or anything like that, it's a condensed version to make a sour. Instead of it sitting for multiple years, you're able to turn it out much more quickly.
Yeah, in weeks versus months.
And do they use chips of wood or not at all? Because I was thinking that they were using.
That's only when they when they say oak.
When they say it's oak
okay,
aged
okay,
or
okay.
something like that, something along those
Oh,
lines.
in my head it was like also chips of wood were included somewhere in the part of the process.
So
I
I'm
wouldn't put it
handing
out
out
the
my.
question.
Sorry, I keep hijacking your podcast, but I'm handing out my
Marco's
my
handing out his
business
cards.
cards. It has not only my name and my phone number on it, but it also has my picture in the back.
Why are you winking at me and not yours?
Yeah, it's just Saint Bernard is on the back. Okay.
You need to age a
that's
little
great.
bit more for that.
Yeah. Give me 10 years, okay?
10 years. So we have one more for you guys.
Oh, that's it.
Well,
Because
I mean,
all
we
of
have,
Well, we
these
have a lot more.
No speak.
okay,
I don't know
okay.
how long you want to
I
be
don't.
here.
We can do one more.
We
on
can
the
do
air,
more
and
on
then
the
we'll
mic,
just share
and then-
afterwards.
Okay,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
in Belgium it's not allowed to say that you're having the last drink. Do you know that?
So we are not having the last drink.
If you have the last drink,
Oh
Yep.
no.
when you drink it, you're dead. You never say, let's have one last one. You always say, let's have
another one.
voorlaatste. How do you say that?
Totally forbidden.
Totally forbidden in Belgium to say, let's
Okay.
have a last drink.
All right, so we're not having we're having another drink
Yes.
here. So, Living Waters, we're moving back to the first two that we had. Living Waters Brewery that had the Pilsner and the Lager. This one right here is part of, as Mitch mentioned earlier, this is part of the Mythos Club, which is a once a year subscription buy-in, and you get certain bottles that other people don't have access to. It's just part of the Mythos Club. So this is the Yukon. This is a barrel-aged Russian Imperial Stout with maple syrup and coffee.
Very nice
so-
bottle, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, so when we're talking about adjuncts, this has them.
Yeah.
This has a lot of them.
And the mythos is all
Yes, but
centered around-
at least it's not a milkshake.
It is
No,
not
it's
a
not a
milkshake.
Exactly.
That's what I was saying. I'm referring to what I said before.
Yes.
I really don't like when they make beers that look like fruit bombs.
Yeah, there's a big thing here. It's like a gloop, I think it's called casually, right? Where it's all fruity, soury, but cereally and slushy. It's a weird thing. I'm not really a big fan of it, but a lot of people are.
It's really smelling like coffee.
So this
Ooh,
will
yeah.
be so again, Ryan at Living Waters. This is clocking in. He says it'll be 10.1%. Yep, 10.1% on the bottle. So this is going to be one of those beers that's very heavy. It's going to be, of course, bourbon barrel aged Russian Imperial Stout. I don't know if I've had barrel aged Yukon before, but if it's anything like the other Russian Imperial Stouts he has, then it's going to be very heavy on the bourbon barrel sweetness, and it's going to have some coffee notes on the end.
Sorry that the first thing that pops into my head is an advice for this kind of beer. You guys really need to master bottle conditioning. Then all the sugars that we taste right now, and the smell of alcohol we have in our nose, would blend into the beer and would make it better,
Ah, yeah.
even better.
It's a good insight.
Like I
Yeah.
said this earlier, the secret ingredient to Belgian beers is time. You know, like
Yes.
it's ready when it's ready, and it's packaged and it's prepared and sold when it's ready. There's no exact formula.
Yeah.
And that's what Marcus is hearkening to.
Yes. So I think this one takes a slightly different approach in terms of Ryan is a big fan of hitting you in the face with beer. So there's big, bold flavors inside this beer. There's lots of, for me anyway, lots of maple syrup throughout the drink, and then a very medium coffee note on the end. But it is what we call, a big beer. It is very heavy. It's very hit you in the face, and it's got a ton of different flavor profiles to it.
So this is quite a big beer with lots of soothing maple vanilla notes going through on the palate. But it does finish a tad hot, and it is well welcomed. It is fantastic.
It's very
I've tried a few of these in the past, and I know for a fact that this is the kind of beer that does really well in America, but is very difficult on the Belgian palate.
I can see that.
And I do appreciate it, but while I'm drinking it, I'm thinking all kinds of things like, we should do this to that, we should do that to that, we should make it better.
That's the mindset.
But it's all Belgian things that I want to do to the beer.
He just wants to make it more Belgian, is what he's
Yes, yes. And I should appreciate it for what it is in America.
Yeah.
Or Belgium, yes.
Yeah.
Because it is a great beer.
Yeah, this
It's
is
a
very
great
good.
beer.
Yeah,
But
and that's what he's saying.
It's a
like-
different
and-
mindset, yes.
And he's thinking he was thinking out loud exactly what
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
does when
absolutely.
he drinks our styles of beers. Like,
Man.
is that okay? If I was to make this more Belgian, you know,
Like
or
when
more
I drink
Belgian.
an IPA, I'm like, a little bit less hops.
Oh, I'm a hop head.
No,
I like
more
hops.
hops.
I
More
want
hops in that beer.
West Coast. I'm sorry.
Dank.
I mentioned earlier I'm more of a traditionalist and stuff like that. So when it comes to IPAs, I want a traditional IPA or a West Coast IPA. So when I talk to people, I tell them like I want my West Coast I want my IPA to smell like cat piss and pine trees and just a slightly bit less bitter than my ex.
For like, like, for a Belgian one, explain me what the hell is a West Coast IPA between an IPA, because I never understood it quickly.
Okay. No, that's so your IPA is your traditional, you're looking at your generally 6%, 6.5% IPA, which is just standard.
Yeah.
And then West Coast, you're adding you get those pine notes, the pine trees and stuff from everything from California, stuff of that nature. And then there's also New England IPAs, which are getting into cloudy and hazy and more grapefruit.
So it's like more juicy, the West Coast?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
go ahead.
and
Go
New
ahead.
England,
Touch
New
on it.
England is like you call it
No, go ahead.
NEPA.
Yep.
It's,
New
Oh,
England
yeah,
IPA.
Nipa, I know that.
Hazy IPA. Drink within 3 weeks.
Yep.
Otherwise, the haziness will be gone, and then it will become a regular IPA.
Yeah,
and
the
we don't want
haziness will go to
we don't
your
want you to
stomach.
pay for a hazy one. And then 3 weeks later, you're gonna say, "Hey, this is not hazy at all."
It's literally the exact opposite mindset from something like a Duchesse Cherry. That it is not a beer that you want to age.
Okay.
It is a beer that when it comes off the bottling line, if
I
you
think,
can drink
I
it
think some
within the
breweries
week,
were
it's
like
even
putting
better.
the best before date like in your face, like
So
drink
Stone-
within
Yes.
3 weeks.
Yep.
That's exactly Stone's thing. Yes, go ahead.
So Stone and a lot of it is a marketing tactic, especially their Enjoy After beers.
Right.
So Stone has two different series. They have one called Enjoy Buys, which are basically like, hey, drink this beer by this date because it is the best tasting before this date. And they have multiple American holidays that they say drink before this date. New Year's, Christmas, Thanksgiving,
420.
420. Yeah. And then they
Yeah,
have
420. I like that.
So
one.
then so those are the beers you want to drink before those days. And then they have beers that are called Enjoy After. And in my opinion, that's a little bit of a marketing ploy, because why are you going to release a beer that's not yet ready? So if you're going to release an IPA, and this is what Stone does, is they take a beer and they'll hop it. Sometimes they'll do dry hoppings, or they'll bottle condition it, and then they'll sell it before it's ready to drink. And they say, do not open this bottle until after this date.
I kind of like that idea. I didn't know they did that series.
Oh, yeah.
I've been removed from Stone for quite some time
Yeah.
now. But I kind of like that, because so often I'm saying the opposite. Like, why is beer being pushed out so soon when it needs another 30, 40 days? So to have that actually like as a disclaimer right on the bottle, I kind of like
Do
that.
it afterwards. I totally get it, because it does create that. It creates that curiosity behind it. But what I think is happening is if you crack that beer before the date, it's flat.
Oh.
It's almost like they bottle it and they push it out before it's ready to drink to the consumer to
But-
get it out of their warehouse.
But if it's
space.
flat, you mean it's bottle conditioned?
It's not. There's no carbonation to it whatsoever, and it doesn't even taste like
Interesting.
ready to go. And then if you wait till
See,
too
I'm
long
falling-
after, if you wait till too long after the
marketing,
date,
I'm falling
it's
susceptible to
over
it.
carbonated. It's super carbonated, and then you can't even pour it because it spills over. So that's been my experience personally with the Enjoy Afters, and I don't know if they do a lot of them now anymore, especially in this
Slowed
area.
way down. It has slowed
Okay.
way down on that.
All right.
It's interesting because in our brewery, when we can tell you that every single bottle will go out of the brewery are perfect. It's like perfect or nothing, and if it's not good, out.
Yep.
So it's interesting to know that. I don't know how they make that. How do they know that like it will be perfect in like 2-3 weeks?
Science.
It's like also the motto of your of Saint Bernardus: perfect or not out of the brewery.
I guess they have good marketeers.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think so.
That's basically
100%.
it. Yeah.
That's it.
Like I said, like, I'm kind of falling for it. I'm curious. I never had it. I kind of want to
We
try
actually we are doing something in the brewery similar to that. We noticed over the years that our Christmas sale, when it was getting older, it's getting so much better. So since it's so difficult for us to keep stock for more than a year, at least we are already brewing it in February. So our Christmas ale gets brewed in February. It's bottled and canned and kegged in April. It gets shipped in June, so that by the time it's on the shelf, it's to perfect age. But I tell you something, maybe we should put a tag on it and say, even better if it's 3 years old. So buy it now and put it in your cellar.
Yes.
You're absolutely right. I know plenty of people who buy multiple bottles and packs just to save for
Just to
later.
save it.
Oh, I have
Yes.
multiple. I have multiple verticals
Yeah.
in my closet right now.
Do that. Don't do that with blondes, okay?
No, no, no. No, I'm not allowed to have blinds in my closet. Oh, we're talking about beer. Sorry.
Oh.
No.
Good one.
I thought you would like that. Yeah.
Amaury. Again, why is it you who's laughing with this?
Because my girlfriend is blonde. Okay, so she don't need to listen to this podcast.
You can listen to it.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of good beers today, gentlemen.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That was so. Are we gonna keep the beer flowing once we're done with the podcast?
Well, as Marco said, there's no such thing as the last beer.
That's right.
It's
So
what's the
forbidden.
next
It's
one?
a
it's forbidden to
Oh.
say.
death sentence. A
Oh,
death
hang-
sentence.
oh,
Okay, okay, hang on.
okay.
Yeah,
There
go
was
ahead.
a Russian river which just happened.
I see a
I see,
dinosaur.
I see the Russian river directly.
All right. Let's
I
do
want to try the
wanna do
Russian
the one?
river.
Russian River and then
Russian
we'll wrap
River.
it.
Okay, so we're gonna do the
Definitely.
Russian River on air.
Yep.
Obviously not a local, but so I've been aging this for, well, it's been in my closet for 2 years now. This one is Russian River Temptation, barrel aged ale, aged in Chardonnay barrels. Barrel aged 9 to 12 months before bottling.
Now I'm getting excited.
And this
There
is
we
from,
go.
This is from Sonoma, I believe. That's
Yeah,
Sonoma, California.
San Diego area. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I believe you're
I think
correct,
it's
yeah.
wine country.
Yeah, I know.
in
Is
California.
Russian
I
River
think
still
it's
number
Sonoma.
one in
I've been
red
there.
beer?
Yeah.
So Russian. Whoa,
Oh.
whoa! There you go.
I like that.
That scared the shit out of me. I'm not gonna
All right.
They were number one in red beer, right? Russian River.
So
For
Ray
a
Beer,
long
their
time.
Pliny the Elder is one of the highest
I
sought
want a
after
new glass.
IPAs. Perfect,
Yeah,
Mitch.
absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you. Fresh glasses. Pliny the Elder is probably one of the most sought after. I don't know, IPA or
So-
pale ale. I guess it's a.
Thank you, my friend.
It's an IPA.
It is an IPA. Okay.
And then-
So probably one of the most
Small
sought
pour,
after
okay.
in terms of Russian River.
So so Marco was delayed getting to Nashville, but Pierre and Amaury last night, both had Russian River Pils, STS, and they also had Blind Pig, which is one of
you know
my
what?
favorite. If you say you don't like Blind Pig,
No,
so
no, no,
help me.
no.
I love
Here's the
Blind Pig.
controversy. When I first, here's backstory, controversy. Everyone's like, Pliny, Pliny, Pliny. I actually went to Russian River. I had Pliny. San Francisco. That's what I was thinking. Not San Diego. San Francisco. But had Pliny. I'm like, this is good. It didn't live up to the hype. Now, it's still a great beer.
Yeah, but Blind Pig was
So,
amazing.
but Blind Pig was better.
Yeah, that's me. I get-
Blind Pig
yes.
was better than Pliny.
I get guffed
I'm just saying.
everywhere I go. I make the same statement. I was like, I'll trade you, 3 of those for, 3 of those. I mean, like, because
Yes.
it's a perfect beer. And
Make a trade.
they're both great.
What's the difference?
Great, but man,
Obviously, both IPAs.
both IPAs. I couldn't tell you. I just know that
One tastes better than the
I
other.
drank them plenty of times. Luckily,
It may have been
fortunately.
the hype.
And but
I think
Blind
it was
Pig
the
was
hype.
just
I think it was
Okay.
the hype.
it's probably. I mean, I
So
should
guys,
I should
what
Google
are
it
we
and know.
drinking?
Yeah. I mean, the newest hype is Pliny the Younger.
Pliny the Younger.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's the double. I think it's the double IPA version of Pliny the Elder.
All right, did everybody get some?
What
So,
is
yeah.
it? Yeah.
What is it?
So for your
Because
listeners who like
it tastes
know
fantastic.
all this, you should know here in Tennessee we don't ever get any
No,
of the
we
Russian River
don't.
stuff.
Nope.
So we are going to be a little ignorant to it, but
you
because
have
it's
only one?
CBC, we had
So
a
you have
couple
only one bottle?
a couple small.
I only have one
small
bottle.
drops.
smells
This is very good.
Yeah.
This is very, very good.
Yeah.
If you
Oh,
want to
yeah.
do another podcast, bring back this beer and I'll be back.
Oh, you got it.
Done. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what we're
really
doing.
excellent, excellent.
Ooh, that's
so what
good.
what's noted on the label?
This is called Temptation. So this is it's aged in. Is it Chardonnay barrels?
It is Chardonnay barrels.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, here you go.
Ooh.
Pass it on.
What was that?
Oh, it was just the bottle on the bar.
Oh, okay.
So, ooh, small.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm getting also.
Yeah, it's very good. I've had a good amount
Aged
of their
in
sour
used
beers over
Chardonnay
the years.
barrels.
Supplication, Damnation, Temptation.
Yeah.
But
This
I
is
was,
my actually first time having this one.
this is very good.
Very well
Super
balanced.
tasty. Yeah.
It has a lot of things going on. And yeah.
So, Marco, small question. What's the ABV?
Right back at you. How's it feel? How's it feel?
Feels light is strong.
I mean, has to feel to ask. It can be answer the question.
Oh, to be asked a question. Yeah, that's okay. Anybody can ask me anything. Definitely, if it's about our brewery. If I don't know about it, it's probably a secret.
Okay.
And so for you guys, what do you think the ABV of
I
this?
think
10, 10.2.
no.
Mid sixes.
Gary, don't try to spy it out.
I know, Gary's
That
already
an
trying to
answer?
like, what is it? What is it?
9.1.
I'm guessing 6.5. Mid sixes.
I'm gonna go 7.
Yeah, I was going to go 8, just to guess, but I don't know. It tastes like a 5.
I think it's 7.5 and it's 7.5.
7.5.
Honestly, you didn't even look at me, but I was gonna say
Cheater.
7.6.
You're
So
kicking.
you got me.
Yeah.
You got me.
Amaury, you're always the best, eh?
When he
Every
has the
time he
bottle in his
gets it.
hand.
I don't know.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
Yes.
I'm not sure, but
No, let's be honest, it's very, very, very good beer.
Yeah.
This is wonderful. Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
I'm glad I chose this time to crack it open.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. This is awesome.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. I haven't had it.
So I think we're
Years.
gonna keep the beer flowing off the mics, Mitch.
Oh yeah, we are.
But we'll go ahead and sign off now. It's been a pleasure, gentlemen.
thank you very much.
Thank you very much for
It was
coming
great
over
to be
us
here.
tonight. Excellent.
Thank you.
Beer is amazing. Big
Does
fan.
everybody know where we are?
The pharmacy in Nashville,
Nashville.
Yeah.
Nashville, Tennessee. Yeah.
Do they know we are going to have a burger now?
Oh,
We're about to get some burgers.
Sausage,
These burgers are
sausage.
delicious.
We're gonna do
fries,
that next. We're
sausage.
definitely ordering food after that.
A couple of beers.
oh yes.
Oh yes.
Keep the beers going.
I like Pierre. Pierre is always thinking out loud.
A burger in between beers is never a bad plan.
Never a bad plan. Gentlemen,
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. We're going
Thank
to go
you.
ahead and sign off now, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Pleasure being
Yes.
here.
Cheers.
Look forward to it.
Cheers to everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And come to Belgium.
Come to Belgium.